15 minutes early. 15 minutes early. I do suffer from premature streamulation. Premature streamulation. Okay. Top 5 pellet hoarders, full list. It did not work again. Son of a biscuit. What is going on? I thought I had it sorted out. It is connected. Let's try that one more time. Hi, Wi-Fi. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Okay. All right. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Let's Hi Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. What's going on, buddy? Let's get rid of this. And listening while I work. What do you do, Wi-Fi? If you don't mind me asking. Hi, Linda. Let's see if this is working too. Got some oddities happening here. Kiss me and smile for me. Show the leaderboard. Yep, it uses that. That is right. Oh, maybe because it was already. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. 15 minutes early. No, what the squizzle? It's so frustrating. And see, it's not even updated. I'm not having any fun with this. That's right. That's got the point thing right, but it's not. The leaderboard is now messed up, which it was fine. Now it's not working. Victor, 15 minutes early, Victor. We started 15 minutes early. So yeah, because that's what I do. Okay, I got to figure out this command. I don't want to mess with it too much. But did I turn it off or something? Leaderboard. Yeah, it's right there. Why is it not working? Oh. All right. Hello. What's up, Dylan? Kalish, good morning. Audra, hi there. Hi there. Let's see. The command does work, as Jay noticed there. Thank you, Jay. There isn't much yet. Again, there's get pellets, gift pellets, and weather. And those are currently all the commands that regular users have. But we're going to flesh those out. It only works when I'm in the lead. Just making sure this is working. Yeah, so something is still not connecting right because weather did not work either. Jay, thanks for testing with me. Was it Jay? Oh, no, it was Kalish. Kalish. Sorry, I don't know why I thought Jay. Kalish. Yeah, it's not working. It's so frustrating. This stuff works, and then I don't do anything, and then it just stops working. Let me see if there's any... And I know you guys don't want to hear me just complain. And show weather, it's there. So it's catching the command. It got the command, but it just did not display the weather. Huh. There's the weather that's on this page. That's where that works. Yeah, dang these newfangled gadgets. Jorge, you are number finger in my heart. Hey, Barbara Jackson Gordon, hi. We said hi to Victor. We said, hopefully I got everybody. Jeff, Hi, I'm not going to mess with this too much, but I don't get why a couple of these display things are no longer working. Now, weather does not work on this screen, but let's try this. Does this work? Is it something to do with the scene? It is not. And in the commands, it's getting the command, but something is not communicating. And there's nothing has been changed. Nothing. Oh, haha. I see what I did. Well, how did I do that? All right, hold on. I know what I did. Somehow this did get changed. Maybe it went back to a different thing. State visible, which is fine. Source is actually source is different. Okay, that's I don't know. Was I playing around and I totally forgot? Did I just totally forget that I made changes? I don't remember doing this, but it's definitely changed. And I mean, nobody else can do it, so it's got to be me. It's got to be me. Oh, wonderful me. There we go. Dr. Awesome. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is your doctor's appointment? Or is the doctor's appointment today? I got confused on that. The doctor's appointment is today, I believe. Okay. But I've got to flesh this out because this weather is only going to show up on this one. I've lost so many pellets. Is this like the stock market? Yeah. So, yeah, this past Monday, we did a purge. We wiped them out. Or did we do it on Sunday? I can't remember now. We did. We did a purge to make sure that the purge process worked correctly. So that starting in December, I want to be able to, because I have to do that every month, right? So the pellet market crashed. I have to do that process every month. So I wanted to make sure that it worked and there wasn't any lasting ramifications or anything. Greg's Planet Tanks, hello. Hello. You will always be a Misa to me. I know, even in my head when I say Kalish, I'm thinking the same thing, Dr. Awesome, but I'm trying to say Kalish to switch over, to get that. Okay, so that is okay then. That is okay. So the weather over here, I'm just going to leave. I don't want the weather to pop up on this screen because that's what this whole scene is about. It's sort of showing the backyard and the weather. So that's always going to have it, but I don't want it on this screen all the time. I just want you guys to be able to pop it up there every once in a while if you're interested in seeing the weather. Hi, Stephen. It's good to see Greg's Planet Tanks too. I mean, I see you around, Greg, but we should do a focus on with you, Greg. I'm trying to get everybody, trying to get everybody. I think Blackie and I are talking. He might be this Saturday. I don't know. We're right in the midst of working out the time frame on that, Dr. Black. Chris, AutoZone actually had something come up. He was going to be this Saturday, but now he will be in December instead. So this Saturday, I need a guest, but I think it's Dr. Black. I'm a lurker by nature. I know, Greg, but you've been around so long and you're always in the streams. So I think people would like to learn more about you. But again, no pressure to anybody. Tomorrow is your doctor's appointment. Okay. Well, let us know. Let us know what's going on. What time? Is it in the morning for you? Well, even if it's in the morning for you, we have that 3-hour time difference. I was going to say, come in and tell us what they said, he or she, your doctor. They tell us what they said. I just got to Stevens walking in now. I'm sure we'll be lurking. Well, that's fun. That is, I'm jealous for both of you, both sides of it, So I'm jealous of Steven getting to hang out with Brooklyn, and I'm jealous of Brooklyn getting to hang out with Steven. Okay, so we've got that sorted out, but what is the deal with the leaderboard? Why is that not updating? something has happened to the leaderboard. So let's look at that real quick. So the weather is good. Again, the weather works on this screen. Hello to you and everyone. Sal, hello there. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. Jenna P, good morning. One more time, it's not turning it on or off. So there is definitely something wrong with the leaderboard. Let's see if it turns it off in another scene, because they are different commands. So let's see if it brings it back here. It does not. So, because I could see it instantly as soon as it pops up in there, and it does not. So there is a problem with the leaderboard showing, and it's not a big deal, but the command is lead. Yeah. Is it something to do with, let's go look at the command, and maybe I set something again. Don't even remember doing it. There also is a mod command for, like, Jay, you're a mod. So, I always say hashtag, because that's what it feels like it should be. Modcom is the mod commands. Did I even spell it right? I didn't even spell it right, did I? Jesus. Thank you, Jay. Jesus. There's what the mod commands are. And I wish that I could make it just one entry. The bot would pop up and do one entry but cover multiple lines, but unfortunately YouTube doesn't like to play that way, so it has to be separate lines like that. Those are all the ones that should be working for you. And again, just put the thing in the front. The fish tank lights all just went on. I love that moment for some reason. Yeah, mine aren't all together, and some of them aren't even on a timer or anything. Shout out. So you could do it here. If you do a command and you don't know what see, it'll tell you. There you go. Shout out. It'll tell you what the parameters are. So if you're unfamiliar with any of the commands that works on any command, it will tell you, what the parameters are supposed to be. So the shout out thing, people that chase pellets are just silly. Silly Nathan. The shout out thing is fun. Mods only can do that, and you guys can do whatever. It's just an easy way to. There you go, Geek Boys channel. I like it. It's one of my favorite features so far that mods can do. It's one of my favorite things that we've added is the shout out feature. And again, Matt liked that as well, and he took it and incorporated it into the Fish Fam bot and the Fish Fam link bot. And so it's like FFL who is or something like that. I can't remember who is, all one word. I think that's what it is, and it'll do sort of the same type of thing, but I think it sends you to fishfam.link instead of directly to YouTube. And nothing against that. I just would prefer to go directly to YouTube instead of for this type of thing. That's all. Nothing, no shade or anything that way. All right. So why is the it is who is okay? Yeah. Okay. So why does the leaderboard not work? It's calling the action. Oh, I wanted to go look at the command and see what the heck is going on. So what's going on with everybody's day today? What are we doing? We having a good day today? Today's Wednesday. As you can see, it's beautiful outside. It is going to be crazy warm. You see that 57 on Thursday. I wonder what the record high for, what is that, November 17th? Let's see what the record high is. Wow. I just tried to spell, and that wasn't pretty at all because I don't think I got a single letter correct. Man, my fingers are not working today. Slow down. Man, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. November Nope, that's not what I wanted. All right. Well, I'm not finding it real quick, so maybe somebody in the chat could do a search for it. I want to see what the record high is. You can put Huron, New York, or you can put Wayne County, New York. That's the county I live in, Wayne County. There's a Wayne County elsewhere too, but I got to believe that 57 might be close to the record high. I'm guessing that the record high for November is like 63. That's my guess. So it's got to be sort of close. It's got to be close. Kalish says, "What's going on? I'm at work, but not working. Living the dream after a 1.5 hour commute to the office." I know. I see you talk about that on Discord, and that is just, that's horrible. That is horrible. That commute. That's crazy. And I just don't, corporations think it helps to bring the people back, but it's been proven that it doesn't. So, the remote work does help. It's there's proof, but managers can't keep their thumb on you, so they don't feel like they're as important. Barbara's moving all her remaining Cobra guppies to just one tank. That was reduced since I was feeding less. That will free up 3 tens. Nice. And do you have plans for those tens then? Or are you going to take them down? Or what's your plans with the tens? All right. So let's go back to this lead thing and figure out what I did with it. Because it's obviously, I got to imagine it was something I did somewhere, but I don't know what. You know what? Let's get rid of the cooldown. Let's just take that off. Moderators are allowed. Let's get rid of that. That works. That works. Mode. Yep, that's all good. That's all good. Make sure there's nothing there. That's all good. Yeah, so I don't know why it's not. And we're not even getting a message. No, it's not. It's triggering. It's triggering. Command is triggered, but it is just not actually doing the action. So what changed with the action then? Is this fun? Is this fun watching me think about stuff? Can you smell the burning? Show leaderboard. Source visibility. Leader. Yep, that's the proper name. Well, let's just force it here. And see what is going on with it. Let's, well, first of all, it wasn't even updating. See, that's the other problem. That leaderboard is no longer updating. Although, trigger Rico. Although it is, when you do the rank, it's there. Yeah, again, so frustrating because I made no changes to any of that stuff. So it's so frustrating that is just not working. It's not updating the leaderboard. It's not okay, Nathan, we'll see you. We'll be here. Hi, Mark. What did Geek Boy said? On a different note, I'm doing more than my part to contribute to melting that pesky ice down south. Catch. Barbara Jackson, going to get more nanofish. Gotcha. I'm moving away from the guppies. And what are you thinking about? CPDs? I don't know if you already keep CPDs. I can't remember what you keep, to be honest. Go ahead, Jorge, do it. Turd huggers. Cody V. Hi, Cody V. Turd huggers. That's just gross. Yeah, mods should be able to run that command lead. And I don't know why it's not working for me. Maybe there is something with that. I wonder if my account disconnected. That could be something. So you might have given me a hint. No, I am connected. I am connected. Yeah. No. Wait a second. All right, let me turn it off. Yes. Oh, you know what I did do though? I wonder. I wonder if this has got something to do with it. I forgot that I made a new command, a new action. Let me disable that. So I started a new action so that when the stream started, it should automatically update that leaderboard and make it ready. So maybe that was part of the problem, but it might have ruined it. I mean, not ruined it, but it might have, for this session, it might have done something. Yeah, that could be. That was one thing I did change. I tried to make a command because we had to manually start that leaderboard, and I wanted to have it refreshed and ready to go as soon as the stream started. So that could possibly had something to do with it. We won't worry about that leaderboard today, and we'll worry about it the rest of the time because the points are accumulating. All that part is working. So that's all good. That's all good. There's no problem with it actually doing the points. It's just showing on the leaderboard, which isn't even that big of a deal. It's just a visual. The actual points are working. Love Tiny Rasboras and hold on, gotta move this. And Corey's. Gotcha. What did I see? Was it Jason from Primetime or not? Primetime Aquatics, not just Jason and Joanna. I think it was them. They had some little Rasboras that I don't know. I don't remember what they were, but they were awesome. I think it was them like a week ago or so they did a video. You're not a mod because I just don't like you, Dr. Anthony. That's all it is. I don't care for you. I think you're a horrible person. And I would never give you that control as a mod because I feel like you just don't deserve it. You're just a horrible, horrible person. And I feel like bad stuff would happen to me if I did make you a mod. You know? The truth comes out, Dr. Awesome. The truth comes out. And obviously, none of that's true. People oftentimes, when you joke around, people take it so serious sometimes. Not him. Dr. Awesome doesn't. He knows me well enough now. I know him well enough now that he knows when I'm joking. But there's other people that get like, they don't get that we're just playing around and joking with each other. And they're, I guess sometimes even when you're on a stream and they can see your face, that sarcasm and just messing around doesn't come through, and people get upset. Well, people get upset about everything, though. Jesus Christ, and things that don't even that's not even true. It's not even true. That they just somehow got stuck in their head, and it's not even true. Good God, the things. Big Steve, what's up, dude? Good stream last night. Had a lot of fun with you. It was really cool to get to know you more, and I really do appreciate you being so upfront and sincere with us on so many stuff. So how many pellets do I get for crying? Hey, you know what? That is a good point, though. Is that how many pellets do I get for crying? I love that. They were emeralds. I got 10. Is that what Wi-Fi? That's what they were? Those were awesome. Those are beautiful, beautiful. Emeralds. I thought I've seen emeralds before. I thought I hadn't seen these once. That's a thing, though. Yeah, I think I need to go back and add points. No, you know what? We're going to start that in December. The people who do come up on the Focus On, starting in December, will get points as well, because that's interacting. Like, shit. You know what? I totally forgot. I was supposed to use the other software today, Talk Studio. I remembered because we were going to have guests come up. Hi, Bex. Sometimes I just need clarification on sarcasm. And when it's in text and stuff, I get that. But some of the things that, well, now let's not get into it. Let's not get into it. Text stuff is definitely different, but when you say things that are just, like super rude, and you're smiling and laughing, and the person is smiling and laughing, and other people get, upset, then yeah, starting in December, people who do come up for for anything, anybody that comes up on the stream for any purpose will get 500 points. 500 points. We're going to do that because you guys are coming up here. You're interacting with me. You're helping me out by being here. So, and that's what we figured would be a good amount. So, and again, I apologize, Bex. We talked about you coming up today, but we didn't talk about it this week. We talked about it last week when you came up. You were going to show a different tank. I totally forgot today, so we're not doing the tank, the bubble babble. What's all this about points for crime? I should be in the lead. The points like on whose line is it anyway? Sort of, a little bit more, and hi, Killer Kitty, a little bit more rigid, like what you're getting. Anybody who comes into the stream gets 150 points. That's it. You come in the stream, and when the stream starts up, if you're here, you get 150 points. If you come in later, at any point during the stream, for a minute, you get 150 points. And then you get points for chatting once every 10 minutes. You get 5 points per minute. So that's another 50 points per that 10 minutes. So they add up, pretty quickly. And then the other thing you get points for is being on the stream for whatever reason. And hi, Eric. I don't think I said hi that. You get points for being on the stream. So I think that is most, again, I have to reiterate because some people I think were confused. I think people are confused. It's not pay to play. It's not pay to play. You're not paying me to get points. That's not a thing. That'll never be a thing. It doesn't happen. Super chats, super messages, none of that stuff will ever affect the points. And there's some fucking idiots. There is no pay to play. None. He's got the power. You guys, watch out. Watch out. Yes. Do points have the same value as Fruit Bucks? Yes. Maybe I should have called them beats. Why did you ask me for $100 for 10 pellets? Because I knew you were a sucker and you'd give me $100. I like money, don't get me wrong, but there's there's nothing here that I love beats, Kalish. I love them. Stanley Nichols. Office is great. I absolutely love The Office. The only things here that respond to, so there you go. 100 points for $1, right? Thank you, Geek Boy. $10. Thank you, sir. Wow. So this should work. Let's hope this works. Here we go. So my voice should have changed. It didn't change. It did not change. Damn it. It did not change. I heard it click over, but I'm not seeing the change. So I got to figure that out. What the hell, man? What the hell? Why is it not working? So I owe Geek Boy a voice change. So let me see what's going on here. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So everything looks fine. The application changed, but it didn't change. It didn't do the command in here in OBS. So, oh my God, why does this thing hate me so bad? All right, we're going to try this again. It's like it doesn't. I wonder if it was something to do with the connection. I wonder if I have to update because that connection issue that I had yesterday, I wonder if that's it, that it's just not. Well, I can quickly tell. I can rebuild this. Alone, that's the scene. Source is Yeti, and it's going to mute it. So if this works, then I know that I'm on the right track. Let's see if this mutes my mic. It's 10 seconds in between the time I commit it and then when it actually happens. Go, gadget. Okay, so I think I know what it is. I'm okay with paying $10 for mute. That's funny. So I think I know what it is now. I feel like the connection issue I had yesterday, and 11's just still being a jerk. She is driving me crazy. 11, shut your hole. I feel like the connection issue that I had yesterday is what's caused the problem. For some reason, if you change the port, even though you're connected, I think some of the commands have to be reconnected. 11. Yeah. Yeah. Connection. It's got the port. Okay, so that's all right. I wonder. I'm going to just try this real quick. It's got the proper port, but I don't know if I have to reconnect each of these commands. And for that process to change the voice, there is a big set of commands and actions and stuff because it does a lot. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. So it might mute me and stuff, so hold on. All right, so 10 seconds from now, we should get a change. And it might be as simple as that. Okay, any second now. Hey, it's working.
It's working. So there you go, Geek Boy. There's your different voice. I have no idea what the voice is, but I can tell it's working. I can tell that it's working in there. So hopefully it's a fun voice. Skibbity bop bop ba-doop bop. You know, something fun, but it is working. So that's what I got to do. But that could also be the problem with the leaderboard. It might be as simple as that. It just has to recreate.
And that's a bug. If you change the port, that's a bug. You should be able to change the port and it should automatically do its thing. It's back. That's what the problem is. So I need to register a that's a problem. That is a problem. Because I should be able to change the port and not have to go back into every single one of my commands. All I have to do is double click it. So it's very quick, but I shouldn't have to do that. It should automatically know that that connection is there. But it's like it has to refresh the connection just with that one specific action or command. So let's do, where's the leader? Show leaderboard works, but the rank right here. Let's do this one. But is there anything in there that has to be changed? I don't see a command in here that specifically, oh, there it is right there. Okay, so now let's do it. I'm sorry I'm ignoring the chat, but I'm trying to figure this out. But rank is still not working, so this has not updated. It's down there, but it still isn't showing there. We still got it to turn off and on correctly. So now I just got to figure out why the rank that it's showing is the placeholder. That's what all these names are. They're just placeholders. Okay. Let's scroll back up. Just popping in to let you know Wally just got sick. Uh-oh. Looked like mostly bile. He was eating grass this morning. That's David, everybody. That's my son, David. He's staying with us for a little bit. I talked about that. And thank you for cleaning up if you're still listening. And he was eating grass this morning, so I definitely will watch that. He was eating grass every single day, but now not so much. Every once in a while he does. And I know a lot of dogs will do that for different digestive reasons, but he was eating grass every single day, not having any issues. Eating great, pooping great, all that kind of stuff. So thanks, David. Don't go in the basement type of voice. Nice. Sounds a little bit like Ron Perlman. Okay. Killer Kitty, thank you. Okay, so this should work. Here we go. 10 seconds from the time of the super chat. And the reason I did this 10 seconds is in case you guys want me to say something, in whatever voice. I think that's fun too. Like dance, monkey, dance. It's not switching over. Oh, it's not switching over because that is a super sticker. And I didn't mess with the super sticker thing, which is a whole different thing. So I've got to go back over here and do the same thing on these. And I will trigger this so it does the face change. Okay, so let's try that again. So that was super stickers are the face change. There we go. I like this one. That would be so cool. Those are my pride teeth. This is a cool one, especially the tattoos on the beard. That's some skill. That's some skill right there. Actually, I don't need to save in this one, Jay. It does automatically when you do it. The save is just to so that you can back up stuff and things. But thank you, though. Thank you. There's Latoya. Hi. Hi. What the hell was that? Hi. I don't even know what that was. Land the legs high. It's going to be one of those days. I can tell. Okay, so now those things are working. So weird. But this again, I still got to figure out why that is not working. Rico is hi. No, I am not. I mean, I'm not. Not would mean I am. I am not. Okay, so I wonder, that means I probably have to do connection stuff with a whole bunch of these. That is really weird. That I would have to. So anything that does a scene like this, that does a visual or anything, has to be reconnected. Okay, so that works. Actually, that's why the rank is working, because the points are working, because it doesn't depend on any of that. But showing the leaderboard, that should have worked. So why is that not? Let's try this again. We'll go there. And that is good. We'll go here. See, it sees the proper connection. The port had to be changed once. Port had to be changed one number, and that's all. So let's see if this. It's still not updating. Okay, I'll not mess with that anymore. I'll figure that out though. Why that doesn't display the points anymore? I bet you it's the same thing. Though. It's something to do with that changing the port. Changing the port shouldn't be that big of a deal. It really shouldn't. That is if that's really the case, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. If that is really the case, that Does anybody have a membership message? Well, never mind. I can just test it. Let's just see. Yay. This works. This is one of the things I'm proudest of, is that this little circle spins. Watch it. Ready? Here it goes. That's the thing. This is probably one of the thing I'm the most proud of, is the fact that spins, and it'll spin when anybody pops up a one of the member, the monthly membership messages. That'll just spin. That's all. And I absolutely adore it. I love it. Barbara Jackson asked. There we go. See, it's working. And any day now, Geek Boy, that'll be 23 months. Can you believe that? 2 years. I can't remember when, but it's got to be any day now that will update to 23 months. Almost 2 years. What was I going to do? Oh, I know what I was going to do. Hold, please. I think Wally should be in the grass one day. Out here, it would be difficult because I would maybe I'd get David or somebody to go out there. I see no birthdays this week. I was looking for the birthdays. Last Box Hero Danny is on Saturday the 18th. Science Gal Aquatics is on Monday the 20th. So that's the next ones that we have on the list. Oh. Why did that? Oh, it's because I was in a different scene. You know what? Let's just turn it off here. That way it's the same as the other one. Okay. All right. So everything should be. March is my birthday month. Same here. What part of March too? Are you before the 22nd? Are we both Pisces? That's why we get along so well. We're both Pisces. Just like Brother Dan. I share a birthday with Brother Dan. That's why I call him Brother Dan. Because we share a birthday. And there's other people that are very close to me too. I can't remember. Somebody's like right the day before, 21st. So that still is Pisces, right? I think 22nd is the cutoff. And I don't put any stock into that, but it's fun. It's fun to mess around with, but I don't truly believe, Okay, so that worked. The mod commands all work. The viewer commands again. March is Pisces, part of enjoying fish. So if you want to know the commands, and these commands are going to grow. You, as a user, anybody can do that command. Anybody that's here, you'll get that result. So it tells you which different commands are available. .com, which we just used, get pellets, gift pellets, and weather. That's it right now. Those will be more as we go along. Those will go. And see, the weather worked. Yay! Weather. We've got weather. 39? That doesn't sound right. I don't think that's right. God damn it. It's not right. It's not right. Oh my God. Everything's just here. That's because I forgot to do that. So now it refreshes it every time. So let's refresh it, and there we go. Let's show it again, and there we go. All right. Over here, did that refresh? That looks like it refreshed because I set that to automatically refresh. Yeah, refresh every time. Every time I switch to this scene, it's pulling the new data for that little window right there. And every time I switch to this one, it will now pull for the weather up there. So the weather should go. Try it one more time, Geek Boy. Oh, I limited it too. Well, because it's for everybody, so I limited that to. That's the other thing I didn't put in there, is that some things have a time limit. Yes, that's actually 5 minutes for the weather, because the only place it shows up is on this screen, and I just now that should work, because it's also a global cooldown of 2 minutes. It's a global cooldown of 2 minutes, user cooldown cooldown of 5 minutes. So each user can only do it once every 5 minutes, but all told, it has to be each person, the entire chat can do it every 2 minutes. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Just so there's not a ton of it up there. Hell. ABS, hello. It is nice out. It really is. It's incredibly warm. It's crazy how warm it is. And look, it's 61 here too. Look, 52 here, but very close to that. And same with Geek Boy, 61 in Colorado, Florida. It's nice out. But look at Thursday, 57 degrees. And I know for a lot of places you're like, oh, what's the big deal? But 57 degrees for this area, at that time is pretty damn warm. Pretty damn warm. Nathan's the 31st, another March baby. Oh, and Doc says he is in Aries, first day of Aries. Okay, I thought it was 22nd. I get that mixed up all the time. 73 and overcast in the desert. That sounds nice, though. That sounds nice. 73 is not bad at all, because that's 73. No humidity. Yeah, that sounds nice. That's a nice change for you guys. Let's look at the upcoming week. Yeah, Friday, 60 degrees. That's crazy to me. And then it finally drops back into the 40s, and I think we're finally done with the 50s. So we'll be in the 40s starting on the weekend. And then probably by the end of the month, we will be in the highs of the 30s every day. So it is coming. It is coming. And if you look, I can't really do it, but if you look, I need to set it up so you can see my pointer on the screen. So you see the little shed, the gray shed that's like right in the middle almost, not the house, that's a little house, the little gray shed. There's a little brown shed, little gray shed. Right above it, you can see some gray, sort of see some gray, a little bit of gray right through the trees. That's water. So it's coming too that we'll be able to see the water. And I really do want to get my scope set up and hook up a cell phone to it and point it out towards the lake so we can have an amazing view of like the icebergs and stuff on the lake. I've got to get, I don't want to do Wi-Fi for the connections. I'm trying to do everything direct USB. So I need to get a bigger USB powered hub for that to connect, because I've only got a 4-port right now. So I need to get like a 12-port for all the different stuff I want to add on, because I want to do the doggy cam. I want to also have the cam out onto the lake. You know, I want to show all of that different stuff. Whip, what's up, Whip? Whip's World. Whip's World. Robert Jackson says, I'm near San Jose. Do you know the way? Oh, how does that go? San Jose. I forgot how that song goes. Something about, do you know the way to San Jose? I don't remember the song, though. Maybe I just made that song up in my head. Okay, what else is going on? What's happening out there? Whip, how much longer do you got on vacation? Are you still another week to go? Yeah. What else was I going to say? I am done with Afternoon Delight. Snarf for Barf right now. I do need more stuff for Snarf for Barf. I do. A couple of people are sending some things. So that'll coming soon. I still have the one beer left from, from Whip. I still have that, but it's hard to do in the daytime. It's hard to do. I don't want to drink like one of those beers in the daytime. I'm not a daytime drinker anymore. Daytime friend and nighttime lover. You know what I'm saying? It was super warm over there too. Pouring down rain here. That sucks, Whip. Burt Bacharach wrote it and Dionne Warwick sang it. And is it, do you know the way to San Jose? Is that how does it go? All right, hold on. No, because then I'll get like a copyright strike again, because I seem to get those, because I've done that a few times. Even playing Myrtle's that he made for me, I got a copyright strike, and I gave them the license from Myrtle, and they said, no, it's not good enough. So still waiting on the surstroming. That's right, Big Steve. Yep. He bought some to send, and so it's coming to him, and then he's going to send it out to me. So we will have Sir Stroming soonish. I'm drinking as I type because there's nothing else to do. Vacation time is day drinking time. I agree. Claim, not a strike. Yes, you're right. Totally different. It is a claim. I have never had a strike, but I have had plenty of claims. And most of the time I don't care, but sometimes it just bothers me. Drinking time is right before I teach class. They're getting their money's worth. I would like to see a drunk Dr. A. I don't think you drink much these days. I just feel like you don't. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the chat. Let's see. Today is Wednesday, so you've got some good streams today. Obviously, Dan's Fish being one of them. You've got, let's see, there's no more Papa Shrimp. There's no more McStreamy on Wednesdays. You've got Prime Time. You've got maybe Gina. Last week, some good streams, and this one too. Correct. I always say that. There's going to be a ton of talented people, ton of smart, talented people there, and me too. What annoys me is they reject your appeal for a claim. If you try to reappeal, they will give a strike if they reject it again. Oh, I did not know that. Gina does have a stream scheduled. Nice. Okay. Nice. Getting the turkey today. Really? Do you get it like a fresh one or something? Or I get it's not that long. What am I thinking? It's like a week. It's not that long. Oh, it's more than a week, but not by much. What is it, 10 days? It's just over a week. Just over a week Thanksgiving. That is crazy. This month even has just gone so fast. Anthony drinks to keep the mosquitoes at bay. Dan is doing an awesome giveaway tonight. Let's go see what it is. I do not know what the giveaway is. I miss the streams on Dan's quite often these days because, again, I can stay up later. I obviously proven that, but I don't very often. Do you know the way? San Jose? I'm not getting it right. Dan's Fish an L236 RB strain super white pleco giveaway. Wow. Who's did it say who's donating that? Or is that just a lot of times it's just anonymous, or it comes from Dan himself, and this one does not say who is giving that away. I see Linda Worth in there though. Linda Worth last night at 9:55 p.m. They don't really exist. They look friggin' awesome. It's got like a bluish hint to it. Here, let's look at this. We're just gonna look at his thumbnail. Hold on, I gotta make sure it's in its own window. There we go. Don't wanna have Reddit pop up. There we go. Look at the blue. I mean, I don't know how, that's a beautiful fish. Save your time and stress and just going to wind up. Geek Boy is not a fan of plecos. He is not a fan. I only have bristlenose. I have 2. I got 4 of them from James from Fish Room Fever. I don't know, 2 years ago. And I lost 2 of them. One was my fault 100%. It was last year we went to the Keystone Clash. I did not realize that it was in a tank or a tub outside because I had used a bucket to take a bunch of guppies out of another tank, and I hadn't realized that I got that pleco. And so he was out there, he or she, I didn't know which one it was, and I saw him in there when I got all the rest of the fish out for the clash. I was like, well, he should be fine for just this weekend. And I came back, and we had some super cold nights here, and he passed. So I killed him. That was horrible. I felt horrible for doing that. And then one of the other ones I just lost. So I still have two of them. And they're pretty good size. I like them. I see them quite often. They're just the albino bristlenose. I'm going to start playing a song my kid wrote, a band recorded, so because he's gone, his rights fall to me. I have a feeling I still get a claim against me. Gotcha. He probably will, but definitely fight that one. That would, yeah. We want to have Reddit pop up. Nothing else needs to pop up, though. Way more expensive than the L46, but nowhere near as pretty if you ask me. I don't know the L numbers. I don't. Super Whites of the Clash this year were fantastic. I should have bought 1 or 7 of them. I like plecos. I do. I like the bristle nose. I think they're pretty cool. There's some amazing ones. Oh, I have another one too. I forgot I have a little clown pleco. He's up with the African dwarf frogs. Clown pleco? Yeah. Hold on. I hear water. I know. Fish room. Oh, here's water. Is that a mockingbird? I hear water where I didn't hear water before. I don't see water dripping anywhere, but I hear an extra water sound going on that wasn't there before. So I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. Again, nothing's leaking. It's just louder than it was. So that it was sort of weird that it just it's almost like it just turned on. Okay, well, I guess I won't worry about it. It's just very loud to me now where I wasn't hearing it before. You don't get to see the back of my head too often, do you? If any of you guys see an albino cell-fin available anywhere, please IM me at Whips World or shoot me an email. We'll do it. We'll do it. I hear it too. Yeah, and I know the other day Jorge was looking all over his fish room because of hearing it. It's weird because I was not hearing that loud. And it didn't sound like anything kicked on or anything. There's a hang-on back in this one, and it sort of sounds like it's coming from there. So it could be the hang-on back up there. I mean, there's also hang-on back in this one, so I don't know. ICQ me. Yeah, ICQ used to be a cool format. That used to be the messaging format. Anybody was using ICQ. What was the other one? There was another one too. IRC. Yes, there we go. IRC. Yep. Matt still remembers his ICQ number. I have no idea what mine was. It's been forever. That memory initiated by Geek. Merc. Yep. MR. Yep. IRC was a lot of fun too, and that's how you found out things. That's how it wasn't really like the dark web. But it was still where you got a lot of information and found stuff that that you wouldn't find other places. How about that? Because back in the day, before torrenting and stuff like that, FTP sites. I mean, back before Napster, before all of that, I just read Matt's thing. MP3s. FTP sites were the big thing. And you had to know people usually to find them, the good ones. And it was a whole scene to it. It was fun. It was a fun thing. News groups were also a big thing. You could get a lot of stuff through the news groups for a long time. A lot of files. They'd be split up, over 300 different messages on a news group. It was fun times. It was fun. It was a lot more work involved. These days, kids can just go out and torrent. I used to have to, hype up and downhill both ways. in the snow. I don't know. What was the equivalent of in the snow on the internet? All right. What's going on? I hate being at the bottom of the chat. There's only 30 people today, so there's not a lot going on. Somebody give me some stuff to talk about. We still got an hour to go. Waiting for the MP3. Oh, 3 hours. So only found out it was corrupted or wasn't the right song. Yeah. Great fun connecting to multiple bridges around the world to get to different sites. In the snow equals dial-up. There you go. There you go. And it was dial-up. It was dial-up. Man, I did try. That's why I went to Reddit before, because I was going to show you my my TRS-80 laptop, because I couldn't remember what the baud was on the cup modem. I feel like it was 6. Let's see. What model was that? It was a Model 100. Let's look. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. Is this going to tell us the? Just remember, don't go to Reddit. It sucks because Reddit gift, that's where I gave that away. And all right, let's see what 300 baud telephone. 300 baud. Pick up the receiver, dial the number, wait for the first ring, and put it in the cup. Yeah. Victor wants to know my favorite music instrument. I have no idea, Victor. I have no idea. Probably guitar. I would say. It's different, though, to play. Like, I don't have any musical skill to speak of, but mouth organ. I do love to play the drums. I'm not very good at it. But when I did live with a band, when nobody was around, I would go sit down and play the drums. Did not know what I was doing, but it was just fun getting a beat going. And my roommate that was the drummer caught me playing his drums one time, and he didn't care. He was fine with it. But I didn't know he was home, and he walked out, and I was playing the drums, and he was like, "How long you been playing?" And I was like, just like 15 minutes or so. And he goes, no, I meant, because what were you doing? Because I was doing something that wasn't right, but it sounded good. And he was like, it was just, the bass and the hi-hat. So it was like, boom, 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 just like that. And then he had toms right there, and I was doing this little do, but it was off time with it. I love playing the drums. I can't. But playing the drums was always fun, and I've asked for like a little electric drum set, for a few Christmases, and Michelle doesn't want me to have one. It's electric. I can wear headphones. You won't even hear me. All you'll hear is like a little. She's used to hearing noises like that, anyways. But probably to listen to though would be guitar. I would say, yeah, guitar. Guitar music is what I like the most. So. Kazoo owner, cup, and a couple ladies. Something about that. All right, man. I'm running out of stuff to talk about today. I guess that's what happens when you stream every single day and you don't have stuff to talk about. What's going on at home here? Let's see. Like I said, for my son David, staying with us for a little bit. he's going through some stuff, and so he's going to be staying with us for a little while. Really don't have any place for him though, unfortunately. So we're looking at what we can do that way to give him some privacy, because sleeping on the couch is no fun. So we're trying to work out a way to get him some privacy and stuff. And again, this is not a good situation here for him, because he doesn't have a car or anything right now. So we live in the middle of nowhere. He can't walk to anything. There's nothing really. I mean, you could, right? But it'd take him 5 hours just to walk to the nearest little convenience store. I'm exaggerating, but it would take a long time. Starting the full analog drum set. Go fund me for Rico now. Yeah, that's just what I need, geek. Already people are saying stupid shit. That's just what I need. Part one's done for Nathan. Now go get more paint and finish these bifold doors. Nice. Have not got him on the water changes yet. We do have a tent, but it's too damn cold. A professional ass trumpeter. So do you... Being an ass trumpeter, is it still something you play this way? Is it something where the instrument is here and you're, is that how it works? Is that what's going on, ABS? Or is it, is it different? Is it different? I'm just interested in how the actual instrument is manipulated there. Does it involve salad tossing? I said solid tassing. I've been doing that a lot lately, getting my letters backwards. Salad tossings. So toss salad is a phrase, right? Toss salad is a phrase. And years ago, I worked at this place, and I walked in after lunch, and the lady was in there, and I said, "So what'd you have for lunch?" And she goes, "A tossed salad with some extra shit in it." And I was like, "Oh, have you ever heard the phrase tossed salad?" And she said, "No." And I told her what it was, because I knew her well enough to know that I could, joke with her like that. And her cheeks got all red, and she was giggling, was doing this weird little giggle. And she learned what a tossed salad was that day. And she never used that phrase again, no. Tossed salad with extra shit in it was not a phrase she wanted to utter. It's funny, how trends with words change, and how the words themselves change over time. It's a living language, right? So the meaning of words are constantly changing, and toss salad, they're constantly changing the meaning of words and phrases and stuff. So things that that weren't meant a certain way 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, now it sounds incredibly dirty, and it's fun how that happens, how it changes. And stuff that used to mean those types of things does turn into turns into something else, where it's nothing risque anymore. It's our Friday. Beck says nothing on the agenda. Nice. Kyle is off early afternoon. Going to dose tanks, read and relax until he gets home. And what are you reading, Bex? You finished your one book, right? What are you reading now? Is moist still a thing? That one cracked me up. I don't, people just don't like the word, right? Okay. Do you have words that bother you? Right? Is there a word? There's nothing that really bothers me. Like we said last night, and so I'm on the second book. Gotcha. How many books in your series? How many books in the series? Do you have any words that bother you? Like last night on the Focus On with Big Steve, we talked about, I don't remember who asked, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was that asked I think it was Zen Ginger, what the favorite and least favorite swear words were, and we both agreed that the C word was our least favorite, at least here in America. I know that in the UK, it's different, but for here, it's a violent word to me. I don't like to use it. It's a very dirty, nasty word. I just don't like it. But that's the only word I can really think of that I feel that way about. I don't have, like some people just hear moist and are like, nah, I don't have any words that do that to me. Do you guys have words like that are just something about hearing them just sort of sets your teeth on edge or anything like that? I'm curious on how many people do. 6 or 7. Nice. I'm rereading the Wheel of Time series. I just started book 4 last night because I haven't been. Is that a bee? I don't know if that's a bee or just a big ass fly, but did you see how I swatted it? Watch, ready? It was like right here, and my hand was sort of stuck, and I was just like, I think it's just a big fly. It looks like a bee, though. No, that is I don't know. I can't tell. It's an aggressive word for sure. Yeah. Damp gets ABS. After waiting years for each of the last Wheel of Time books and then hearing Jordan's death in the middle, I don't do waiting for the next book well. Yeah. And I won't even start a series unless it's finished. The Patrick Rothfuss thing, Suffering Succotash, that, George R. Martin, I won't even start a series anymore unless it's complete. Because, George Martin's not going to finish that series. There's no way he's going to finish it. There's absolutely no way. Hopefully a good writer does pick it up. Wheel of Time, I like Brandon Sanderson as an author. I think he's a really good author on his own. And I think he did an amazing job of keeping the voice of the books. And that, which was it, the book 12 or whatever he took over, I thought was one of the better books even. I think I liked it. Moister than an oyster. But I'm with you, though. I don't do waiting for the next book well at all. Meow. Does meow bother you, Kalish? Words that bother me. Conference call. Okay. I have one word and simply do it a personal history. Other than that, they're just words. Gotcha. Yeah, and I was looking not for the meaning of the word so much like I said, because I did say, I started off with the C word. So I don't really mean so much the meaning of the word. I shouldn't even have brought that example up because that confused it. That's a bee. That is a bee. That is so weird that there is a bee in here in November. But it's more just that sound of the words. You know what I mean? Like with moist, people, they don't really think about what moist means. I think it's just the sound of it. With me, like popsicle sticks, which with Steve was one of them too. So now there's 3 people I know of that have that problem. Let's see. Where was I at? I just like the word literally. I have a hard time saying it. Literally. Genuinely. See, I can't say genuinely. I have a hard time with that every single time. A lot of times when I mean to say genuinely, I say generally because I can't. My mouth, it just doesn't work for some reason. That's a word I have trouble saying. Genuinely. That's what I need to do. I need to start doing that before every stream. That's my unique New York. That is a wasp. No, that's a bee. It's definitely a bee. Yeah. Definitely, that one was a bee. It almost looked like a carpenter bee. It was had fat black and then the white and black stripes on the back. I don't know where it went now. We do have a lot of carpenter bees in the area. There's a ton of them. There it is. Sanderson did a good job. He had all the notes and Jordan's wife to help with it. Yeah. Yep, and she was the one who picked him, too, to do it. Don't get me started on George Martin. Yeah, Xanadu. I'm with you. I wish I had the capacity to read books again. I really, I've been trying to because I realized that I had stopped reading for so much. And I've been somebody who reads. My mom was a big reader. Like, she read books all the time. That was her very favorite thing in life to do, was to read. And so at a young age, I also picked that up. I mean, I was reading books well beyond my, age at a very early age, like super young. And I've always been a heavy reader. I gave my goal of 100 books, gave myself a goal of 100 books per year. And, a lot of years I didn't even come close. A lot of years I did hit it. A lot of years I got close. Like there was a couple years I did like 86, Some years it was a little bit misleading because a lot of those books were graphic novels, which is like, 5 or 6 comic book singles in one. So that takes, half an hour to read at the most, something super quick. So that some years that was misleading. Other years it was all just, entirely sci-fi or entirely fantasy or whatever. And on Goodreads, I have a massive to read list. Many times I messed around. Let's see, my book. Here we go. Let's do this. I like Goodreads. It's not as I think it's missing some of the stuff, and community-wise that it had before Amazon bought them out. But I still like Goodreads. I still use it. So here's my want to read. I have 1,470 books on my want to read list. 1,857 on my read list. So that's this is what I've read recently. But you can see the dates. I haven't even been keeping up on it. A lot of these dates are way beyond, or a long time ago, like a year ago. So let's go back to the 5th page. 2016. I was looking. There was a point where almost everything I read was meteorology. So here's a lot of comic books. It was all meteorology and nature stuff. And I'm not seeing any of that here. There's a bunch of comic books. Oh, well, I've got 167 pages. And this is when I think I first started using it. So I put in the books that I had known for a fact that I'd already read. So let's jump up. Never Sniff a Gift Fish. Patrick McManus. He's like a hunter kind of fisherman kind of guy. It's funny. His stuff is super funny, to me at least. Absolutely love it. There's many lives of Tom Waits. The Xanth series, I've read all of that. Here we go. This is a good one. This is a really good book. Kayaking the Inside Passage. They're talking about up there between along the coast of British Columbia there, all the way up to Alaska. That was a really good book, and that was the book that 2011 I read that. That was the book that made me go paddle out into the lake as far as I could go, because he talked about kayaking far enough out away from land. Now he's in the ocean, so it's totally different than the lake, right? But the lake is big enough that you can get out there and not see land. So it is sort of the same thing. At least that's the same feeling. With an ocean, obviously there's a bigger feeling around you, because you know that it's massive and you know it's so deep, and you don't know what kind of whales and stuff are passing below you. But he talked. He put into words the feeling that he got paddling in a little tiny boat and not having any land around you at all, just water. And that feeling that he spoke of just turned me on to it. It really did, man. I needed to experience that feeling, so I did. This wasn't really a book to read. I mean, this is Across the ID Guide. That's one of my favorites for Naturalist Buys an Old Farm. Edwin Way Teal. I really like his writing. A lot of John Muir, weather proverbs. I mean, USA Today weather book. I was, totally into the meteorology and nature big time during that time period, which I still am, but I just don't get to experience it. Game of Thrones, May 17, 2011. Martian Chronicles. obviously great. Ender's Game, good. Foundation trilogy, I do like Asimov. You see all the different meteorology books and stuff. A Fine and Pleasant Misery. That's another Patrick McManus. If you like sort of folky kind of stuff, that guy, here's another one, How I Got This Way. He tells a lot of short stories, and it's a lot of stuff to do with, being outdoors, hunting and fishing and stuff like that, All right, let's close this and get back to the chat. Sorry. Let's get back over here. I had to stop reading. My legs keep going numb. I just considered you may not have been making a joke about sitting on the toilet. But that fits, right? I got 4 books into George R. Martin. It was just too much. Love the concept too much. I really enjoy George Martin. I like Patrick Rothfuss quite a lot, too. Quite a lot. Dr. A says, I don't think I've read 100 books for pleasure in my life. And the key being there for pleasure, right? But you probably do a lot of reading for academic reasons. So maybe that takes away from it. When you have to do stuff for your way of life, your living, whatever it is, then reading for pleasure makes it more difficult. Just got a second book day before yesterday, late afternoon. Last night I've gotten a quarter left to read. So you're really into it. I've always wanted a writer's course for appreciating books even more. I just like something that pulls me in, that lets me sort of focus. And I guess I would say it's an escape a little bit, like it's taking me out of my world, and it makes me want to care about the characters. A great example of something that has the Thomas Covenant books by, I forgot his name now, Lord Fowles Bane, the Thomas Covenant books. I absolutely hate them. Every character in there is just a piece of shit. You have nobody to root for. And I get he was trying to go for flawed humans, but you can do flawed humans and not just be a piece of garbage. I just hated every character that he wrote. And there was nobody to find any sympathy with. And I never could get through them. And my buddy Roger was the same way. I saw them on a shelf, and he goes, we were talking about books, and he's like, you want those? I'm never going to read them. I'm never going to read them again. He said, I couldn't stand them. I was like, I feel the same way. And he's like, well, take them and try them again. So I did. No. Steven says, my brain has deteriorated to the point where reading books for long periods is basically impossible. I used to read a book every few days on average when I was a kid. I get it. It is difficult more today because we get our information in snippets, right? Attention span is a little bit more difficult, I think, today. And I'm not saying kids have a bad attention span. I just think that when it comes to entertainment, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook, all this stuff, you're used to getting small snippets of this and that and the other thing instead of long form. And I mean, people still go to movies, so that doesn't entirely hold true. People still watch binge TV shows like crazy too. But yeah, much preferred it before, just like everything though, right? Anytime a big corporation, I can't remember a single time when a corporation bought out a product and it got better. Not once. They might have maintained the product, but I can't think of a single time. And I'm sure there's maybe some software, something out there where a larger entity bought them and they did do a good job. But most of the time, no. By the Rivers of Babylon. Let's look that one up because I don't remember it. I do not remember it. What is By the Rivers of Babylon? Babylon. Rastafarian song. 2,500-year-old Hebrew poem. Is that it? Or it's from Psalms 137? Is that Jewish history, the Rivers of Babylon? Is that it? I don't know. Book. Let's try that instead. Oh, there we go. Nelson DeMille. DeMille, or is it DeMille? DeMille. DeMille or DeMille? DeMille. There we go. Okay. So it wasn't the Jewish history. It was... Okay. Oh, that's a different one. Damn it. That one's by somebody else. Here. Is it the one by Nelson? Is that the one, Dr. A? They were forced to meet by the rivers of Babylon and Israel. Two Concorde jets take off for a UN conference that will finally bring peace to the Middle East, covered by F-14 fighters accompanied by security men. The planes carry warriors, pacifists, lovers, enemies, dignitaries, and a bomb planted by a terrorist mastermind. Sounds like like it would make a good movie. 10-minute comment. What a crap 2 days it's been. It's hard to do outside work with the rain all day. Gotcha. I think I'd like the Wheel of Time series. I have a hard time advising people on stuff like that for entertainment. I really do. I don't know. I enjoy the hell out of it, but at the same time, there's parts of it that are incredibly frustrating. I think the overall series is amazing and original. That's the key there for the Wheel of Time. I think it's sure, it's a young kid that starts off someplace and goes through, he lives in a little village, very Tolkien-esque at the beginning. He's not a hobbit, but I mean, he's sort of that same type of thing where he has to go on a big journey, like so much of fantasy. So it's got all those fantasy tropes in it. There's things like braid pulling that, and not in a fun way, that just get old. Some of his writing with the war of the sexes type stuff gets frustrating to me. But if you can put all that stuff aside and do the whole story and not get frustrated with those types of things, then I think you would love it. I really get in tune with the characters. Now, there is a shit ton of characters, and he mentions so many people, and there's so many names, and after a while I just I'm not even going to try to remember that name. I don't even know if it's going to come back again. And some names are very close. Damo Dread, Demon Dread, they're very close to each other, and when you're sort of reading, a lot of times when I'm reading, when I see the name, I don't even read the name. I recognize the name as it's a character, a character on the page. It's a digit. So, Rico Stan, I wouldn't hear Rico Stan in my head. I would just know that was that person. There's a connection I make when I see the person's name and I connect to them. So I don't even really read the name, really. I just recognize the name. Does that make sense? I don't know if I described it. But I think you should give it a try. And if you do give it a try, though, at least try to make it in, because it does change drastically. From the beginning to, fourth, fifth book, it does change quite a bit. Tampa Tom says, mowing in the rain, no gain. No money when you're mowing in the rain. Wheel of Time is long-winded, has multiple storylines that you have to follow. And, oh, yeah, there you go. Geeks got them, too. No one is more long-winded than my all-time favorite, Tolkien. Yeah. I think that Robert Jordan is long-winded in a different way. He doesn't spend as much time on places and such. I mean, there is some history of places and things like that. It's what was I going to say too? Damn it, I lost my train of thought there. Long-winded Tolkien. I lost my train of thought. What's up there, Brandon? Brandon said he's feeling better today, so that's good. That's good. I got to scroll back up, though. It jumped on me big time. I have only 56 books on my wish list, but I have not updated in a while, so I think I've read most of them by now. Gotcha. Perfect Storm book was much better than the movie. That's the thing, too, that I've got a fluff going on here. What is happening? Stop. I try my hardest. It's difficult to do, but I try my hardest because I have read so many books, watching TV shows based on the books, watching movies based on the books. I try my hardest to separate it and just enjoy it for what this is. This isn't this isn't a movie based on a book. It's just a movie. It's not based on a TV. It's not based on a book. It's just a TV show, right? It's its own separate entity. Because I do enjoy books so much that I would never be happy, I think, if I did try to, compare. Which do I like better? Why did they do it this way? Why did they do it that way? And a lot of people do that. And I get it. I get why you do that, because you do enjoy what they did in the book so much more. But a lot of times what they did in the book is only in your head. It's only your imagination seeing it that way. The writer can be really good at directing you, but your brain is making those pictures. You're putting that together. So that only exists in your head. So it's very difficult for somebody to make a movie that's based on things that only you have imagined, So it's difficult. It's difficult. The Wheel of Time on Amazon is a great example. They've gone off, and they're doing things differently, and they're combining some parts of the story and doing different stuff. And I say, oh, they didn't do it like that in the book. I've said that to Michelle. And then I was like, but that's okay, because I'm telling myself it's okay. Shut up about it. Enjoy it. And I do. I genuinely enjoy The Wheel of Time on Amazon. I think it's a fun series so far. I'm interested to see how they put things together and how they bring all this stuff together, and I'm invested in it. I think it's a good series. We go all over the country kayaking during the summer, at least out-of-state trips a year, at least 3 out-of-state trips a year. Nice. I didn't really travel a lot to do kayaking because we do live right here on Lake Ontario, and there is a ton of little bays and inlets and stuff like right here. So most of the time I stayed right in the little bay that we live on, East Bay here, and because I can paddle back like 5-10 miles in these little creeks and stuff. There's nobody around. You don't hear cars. One part I always go back to, there's a big, massive, really old beaver dam back there. So I always paddle back. I used to. I don't paddle anymore at all. I haven't been in my kayak in 3 years. I don't know how long. But I paddle back to that beaver dam, and just sit there, There's also a lot of reeds back in this corner over here, and there's a family of bald eagles that live on the point on the lake, on that spit of land. And here, let's do this. I will give you a visual. They don't mean a thing. Do. Ooh. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is the bay I'm talking about. My kayak sits right about here, right about there. And the eagles live over here on this. There's like a ridge over here, and they live right on the edge there. And right down here at this is all wide open, but then there's a ton of reeds covering all this. There's a channel through all of these, but there's a bunch of reeds right about here, right about now. There's a Funk Soul Brother, and what I would do is I'd paddle down there, and I would back into the reeds and then just sit still with my binoculars, and the bald eagles would fly over the water there quite often, or even down into the water. There's all kinds of like lake otter. There's beavers. There's just you name it, snapping turtles. Just a ton of nature. So I would sit still in my kayak for half hour, 45 minutes, just watching what was going on around us. And the beaver dam is actually right about here on that one. You can go down to there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not true. It's on this one. It's on this one here. It's right about here. It's right about there. Can't even tell, but it's right about, that's where it would be. So, I would kayak this quite often, but I would also paddle around and go into Sodus Bay. But I always pick my times because in Sodus Bay, there's all kinds of, speedboats and stuff, and just a lot of drunk people. And, nothing against drinking. I drink once in a while, but it just wasn't fun. It was just too many people most of the time. So if I pick my times, like if it was Tuesday morning, I would go paddle over to Sodus Bay and paddle that bay. I've paddled out, far enough into the lake that I couldn't see land, which was right about there, which is the Canadian side. But nobody messes with you. They don't come around and check, especially if you're not going too far. So right about there probably was where I would go. Because yeah, it's 30 miles from this point right there to our house. 30 miles straight across. But I can also, I can come down here into that and paddle that bay. I can go up to Sterling, which is, where is Sterling? Sterling is, should be right here. Yeah, Sterling, right here. So you can come in the bay here and paddle back here, and you can paddle right to the Renaissance Festival. Renaissance Festival is, where is it? But you can paddle right up to the back of the Renaissance Festival. I'm trying to, it should be right through here. Oh well, I'm not seeing it. So you can join up with all these little creeks and stuff. They're all of them are navigable. And in New York State, like a lot of places, if a waterway is navigable, it belongs to all of us. You can't put chains across it. You can't block people out. If everybody's allowed to go. You can't go up on the land. It's the high tide, which in those creeks and stuff, there really isn't a high tide once you're away from the lake, right? So, but you can paddle all through there and nobody can stop you and say you can't be there. Okay, let's get back into here. There's Brandon. Scrolling down. You should, Bex. You should try. You should give it a try, The Wheel of Time. I think you'll enjoy it. I do. Again, there's some frustrating parts. It's not a perfect series by any means. It's not, but it's really good. Agreed that Patrick Rothfuss, I can't remember. I think it's Roth, I think. Rothfush, I think. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, we're talking about the same guy. Quite good, but there's some problems with him. You have to look him up and look up a charity donation. And he also is the same as George Martin. He hasn't put out a book in forever. He keeps putting out little short stories in the world and things like that, but he hasn't put out the next one. Brandon Sanderson's what's the name of that series? Hold on. I'm drawing a blank on it. It's a great series. I absolutely love it. Excuse me. It is it's not the Cosmere thing. He's done a bunch of stuff. Where his the Mistborn series is really good. Stormlight Archive. Stormlight Archive is a great series. I really like that from Brandon Sanderson, and a lot of his books are all in the same universe. So as time goes on, they're going to tie more and more in. You're going to have little bits from Mistborn and stuff into all these other ones. He does have quite a bit, but his Stormlight Archive is really good. Brandon Sanderson. I like him. He's probably my favorite current writer. George Martin is up there, but again, without any new books, and he's never going to finish them. Patrick Rothfuss, I enjoy reading him, but there's issues with them. The Name of the Wind is so freaking good. Sounds like real life. The Covenant books. I did not finish the third book in that first series. Yeah, same here, same issue. Jonathan Kellerman books. Let's look at Jonathan Kellerman, because I'm getting a different. Who is that? I know the name. I don't know his name. I don't know him. I don't think I've read any of them. When the Bow Breaks. Oh, okay. So a lot of I'm seeing some movies. I'm not familiar with John. I don't think I've ever read any Jonathan Kellerman. It's weird too because he's got a shit ton of books. I mean, his first book was 1985, so it's surprising that I haven't encountered him. She'd read books about the enjoyment of having a dog. I don't need books for that one. I definitely don't need books for that one, Victor. I've already got I already know all about that. I could write a book about the joys of dogs. um, I absolutely love having, dogs in my life. There will never be a point in my life when we do not have a dog, ever. I don't care what's going on. If I need to be in a nursing home, I'll stay home just so I can be with my dog. I'd rather not be alive than not have a dog. That is that Victor. That is Pugsley wearing one of those. I don't know what they're called. The Russian hat there with the big furry hat that covers your ears too. I call them Russian, but yeah. That is Pugsley. That's our third dog. That's my son's dog. She's a pug. Pugsley. She's wearing one of those hats and she's making a face. It's a beautiful picture. I could probably find it for you. Let's see. That way you can tell what it actually is. It's pretty old, so I'm going to scroll way down here. That's terrifying. I forgot about this picture. Check this out. This looks like something Ed would make. They found it that way, a crab that had got into a baby doll's head. Doesn't that look terrifying? Jesus, it's scary as shit. Pugsley, where are you, Puggers? Where's Puggers? She's such a good dog. She really is. She's just an amazing dog. She's just always so happy. She'll come upstairs with Aiden and her butt's wiggling. She's just so happy to see everybody. And she's, everybody's petting her and saying how much they love her. And just an amazing dog. She's just always so happy. And again, I've talked about how much she loves my son. She does not like to be away from him for a minute. She follows him everywhere he goes, and he does not leave her anywhere. If she could, she would go to the grocery store with him and stuff, but she's always by him. Oh, here's a picture of kayaking. So you see the ice along the shore. This is real close to home. That's Lake Ontario in January. You see the ice here. That's 10 foot of ice. The shore is way lower. 10 foot of ice right there. And there'd be all kinds of, I have videos on those. I have some shorts that are really old. In fact, that was the first content on my YouTube channel, 12 years ago, whatever it was, 14 years ago. I don't know when it was, but that was the first content, was the little ice caves and stuff that I filmed on that trip right there. Michelle is the one who took that picture. Here's what she would do. We didn't live here then. We lived a few miles away. We lived farther south. We lived away from the lake. Maybe 15 minutes from where we live now. And but I would still come up here and paddle quite often. I love to paddle in January because there's nobody around in the water. If you pick your days, you got to pick your days. That water is like glass. It is so clear. It is so amazing to paddle on. But she just wanted to be involved in some way, and she doesn't like to paddle, so she would go sit up on the shore with her camera and just take pictures and stuff, just so we were both doing something together, even though we weren't together. She's paddled a few times, but she's just not, not really into it. Here's something I printed with my 3D camera. With my 3D printer, my 3D camera. I printed with my 3D camera. I'm showing pictures today. There's some decent detail. I mean, look at the hands. It's the resin printers do a really good job with those fine details. I mean, look at the toes, look at the hands. You know, the resin. That's what the resin printers are good for, is those fine little details like that. I'm sorry, I get distracted so easy. I'm trying to find Puggers wearing that hat, because I wanted to show so you can tell what it is, because those little icons are so small. Yeah. Sorry, I just saw something. It's a little political, so I won't show it. Always makes me laugh every time I see it. Oh well, I'm not finding the Puggers one. Which is weird, because I didn't I don't know, it should have been in this folder. Oh well. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is actually the one I sort of cut out for that icon. So it's not the original picture, but you can still tell what it is. There it is. That's Puggers. It's Puggers. She's such a good doggy. Love that dog. She's about 11 now, I think. She's about 11, somewhere around there. All right. Okay, so I did get the right one for Dr. Awesome. How far behind am I? Wow. I'm far behind. Kayaked in most of the states back east and south, as well as Colorado and Utah. And you do mostly whitewater, though, right? Or I shouldn't say mostly, but you prefer whitewater, right? Right, Geek Boy? Which apparently the age where everything suddenly becomes unimpressive. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that. Heard you guys talking about that the other night, about it was a meal or something that she really enjoyed, and she just like pretended it wasn't a big deal. The other two kids didn't really, I don't remember. They probably went through that. Stephen R. Donaldson, there you go. Yep, Thomas Covenant. Yep. I don't read books, but I listen to books on audio. Yeah, a lot of people do that, and I think that's, we used to do that too. We used to, when we commuted together, Michelle and I, when we commuted into Rochester, it was like an hour and 15 minutes to get to my work, and then she had another like 15 minutes to get to her work. So she would always drop me off, and we would listen to books on the way. That's the only place I can seem to listen to audiobooks, is in the car on a decent trip. And it has to be sort of consistent, like a commute like that. Because once I stopped commuting into Rochester, I didn't have a far of a trip, I never listened to another audiobook book again. I have tried, and I just cannot do it. I can't have that audio playing. With a book, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading the book. But with an audio book, I'm doing other stuff, and my brain doesn't pick up as much of it. And I have to, oh, wait, what did I miss? I can't focus on it as well when it's just audio. Remember that show Heroes? They just kept introducing characters until the show was canceled. Yay. No money, no honey. Just pulled out about a quart of duckweed. A duck of courtweed. A duck of courtweed. That's what I said. I pulled out a ton of it out of here too, and the plants are doing great. Everything. I need to do a video because that's just a pogostemon right here, but I cut it down pretty low, and now it really branched out real nice, and it's starting to look really. And the other plants, I still have a few more over here that I need to trim up again, but I'm cutting and just putting down into the substrate. That's all I'm doing, and they're doing really good. There's root tabs and stuff in there. That tank is starting to really come together, and I got rid of all the water lettuce that was in it, and all that's left here is all just, well, there might be a couple of bits of water lettuce, but this is all duckweed. It's time to clean it again. It's all right in that one spot because the outtake from the canister filter is right here, right next to the front of it, and it pushes right down. So all the duckweed congregates at this end right here, except you can see the sponge filter in the back. So it sort of keeps it pushed right into that section. Rico has a fluffer. They saved the cheerleader and thus saved the world in like season 2, so they needed more characters. Beck says, I haven't been able to get an audiobook, so I don't retain what I'm saying. Exactly. Same thing. Got to read it, have the book in hand. Yes. I don't know why, though. I don't know why. I love listening to music. I do focus on it a lot of times. I sing along and stuff, but yeah. I wanted to like Heroes as well, Mark. Yeah. I sort of did, but yeah, towards, after a while, can't expect it to be exact the same. So much is all in my head. you me both. Heroes is like that growing list of shows that seems to have been greenlit after a major corked up season, and a week later when Cradle is like, where does this go? Yeah, like there isn't a cohesive plan, like Lost, right? Like Lost. Nathan, about the showing a tank thing, and again, I apologize today. I totally forgot I was supposed to use Talk Studio so I could have guests come up for the tank thing. I really just need to schedule that. It's very difficult for me to think about stuff like that sometimes. Do you know what device would be better to use, phone or laptop? I mean, if your laptop, are you using the webcam on your laptop? If so, if it's not another laptop, or webcam, if it's the built-in webcam, I would go with the cell phone. If you've got another webcam that you can sort of bring up to the tanks and stuff that's separate, that's connected to USB or something, then that would be the route to go. Because actually, either one is fine. The cell phone is a great camera. It's probably going to be, that's what Steven uses, right? That's what a lot of you guys use, is your cell phone for, that's what this is. That's a pretty good picture. That's just a cell phone. And it's a Note 10. It's not anything new. All right, let's see. Most audiobooks I listen to are just filler background noise. Zombies, EMPs, mysteries. They move slow enough that you can tune out some. Noise are too bad for books. And that's why I like the Kindle. Because depending on how bad my eyes are that day, or what time of the morning it is, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up for, forever, and I should have been sleeping, and I was asleep, and then something woke me up. The Kindle, you can just change the font very quickly, so it's a large font, and it makes it very easy on your tired eyes or your poor eyes or whatever. Plus, it's backlit enough that it's gentle, and I won't wake Michelle up by reading. It's not bright enough to wake her up. So I do like the Kindle. Bex and I were talking about it on the Discord yesterday, and I know where she's coming from. She prefers to have, the hardcover, and I get that. I do. For a long time, I loved having that tangible feel of a book in your hands, and the smell of a book is just amazing, especially an old book. But these days, I do prefer the Kindle. I gave away all my books except for the nature stuff I have. My field guides. I like to collect field guides. I have a shit ton of field guides, mostly the Audubon, but from some other countries too. Companies. My meteorology books, my bird watching books, stuff like that I kept. But all of my fiction or fantasy, fiction, all of that kind of stuff, I gave them all away. I had bookshelves and bookshelves of mostly paperbacks. I did have some nice, leather-bound books on rich mahogany, but most of them were just paperbacks. Go in search of the beaver. Most of it was running on is scene descriptions, a little dry to read, but fantastic for a movie writer. Yeah. No one does scene settings like JRR. That reminds me of New River in Jacksonville, where I grew up. Our house was on one of the little tributary branches. I love it. It is nice. I want to go collecting those little tributaries. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I don't. I have collected. I brought a lot of hornwort out of the water. That's my bluegill came out of the bay. But I want to do more, because I know if I go back in those little creeks and stuff, I bet you there's all kinds of crypts and things. I know some of them are native to our area. You can look on the DEC site, and they tell you a lot of the native water plants that we have. And there's quite a few of them that are, appropriate for our fish tanks. Mark lived on a lake in Wisconsin for 8 years. Life will never get better than that. Yeah, I will never live away from water ever again. And again, we have property that's right on the water down there. It's just a little spit of land. Because the people that own this house that we're in, the house that we own. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. They owned most of what you're seeing, the gray house, the yellow house, and then on here. I don't want to change the phone because it's where it's sitting is very. If you look this way, there's the White House. So I talk about the neighbors. It sits right there, and the people that lived here, they own that property and the property down below. So the property is split up. It's weird. And the other neighbor that's this way, that's right next door to us, was her brother. So this area was right where we are was owned by one family, just like that guy I was talking about the other day who lives in a barn. And Eric rightly said he can leave all the doors open because he lives in a barn. He was born in a barn. I don't know about born, but he lives in a barn. His family, had a big farmhouse and used to own all the section down there. So our property is a little weird. Leo, what's up? Good to see you, Leo. Good to see you. Navigable. Kansas is not navigable. Book 5 of the Outlander series, listening through Audible. The Outlander one, is that the one that's a period piece? Outlander? I did read a lot of those. I think it's by the same writer, Richard Cornwall, Richard Cornhole. Richard Cornhole. Didn't even realize what I was saying there. I can't remember his name. A lot of those alternative history books, a lot of those are fun. California's saying navigable water is public and can cause some serious property issues if the river moves. Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it would make sense. Yep. Try saying Ed edited it. Ed edited it. Ed edited it. Yeah. Ed edited it. Ed edited it. Ed edited it. I think it's just edited it. I probably just would have said edited it. Ursula Le Guin, yeah, that's some good stuff too. The Earthsea trilogy, yeah. I need to go back because I have not read that in a really, really long time. It's been a very long time since I've read the Ursula Le Guin stuff. But yeah, that's good too. I ended up saying Ed titted it on the third try. Very long running arguments in Colorado of what is considered navigable. Bailey has a bunch of barbed wire over the river. Yeah, there's some places here that tried that and they get shot down super quick. Like it doesn't have to be much water flowing at all, and it doesn't even have to flow all the time for them to designate it as some place that belongs to all of us. And I know there's other people that don't like New York State for whatever, but when it comes to rights for the public, they do a really good job. They do a really good. There's a lot of things that I really agree with that New York does that way. And when it comes to rights for public lands and things, I really am on board with a lot, not all, but a lot of what they do. YouTube has lots of Brandon Sanderson audiobooks. Where should I start? Well, he's got so many different series. The Mistborn series, I would start there. I would start with the first Mistborn series. The Mistborn series, I think, is a good place to start. It's a little bit lighter fantasy, but it's a very interesting world that he's created. Again, all of his magic that he uses in the books, it's all real original style. It's not just magic. There's all kinds of little rules and stuff to it, and he really puts a lot of effort and thought into the magic processes. If magic, lives in that world, is available in that world. So the Mistborn series, M-I-S-T, Mistborn, is probably a great place to start with that. The Stormlight Archive is also really good. It seems bigger and deeper than Mistborn. But yeah, I think any of those would be good. But Mistborn is probably where I would start. Corridores. Zelabelli, in order to enjoy mini works, have to take the author out of it. Basically, take death of the author a little further. Their intent, actions in life. Gotcha. And I understand where you're going with that. There are some authors who made statements that I don't agree with, like either politically or, about groups of people and stuff like that. And I don't want to support them sometimes because sometimes I feel like it's too... if they just make I'm not talking about cancel culture, okay? I know that's a contentious topic. Repercussions are contentious, but how do I do this? How do I say this? I have a hard time supporting, let's say somebody was just an outright Nazi, but made an incredible book. That's where I'm going. So I can cut the author off from the media to a point, just to a point. Rico loves to paddle, not surprised. I mean, I'd rather be paddled. Okay. I'm free from the chillin'. Zenny, you had some great questions last night. Thank you so much. Even at the end there when you made me and Big Steve both cry. Good job on that. For anybody who missed that focus on last night, it was really good. Steve was very forthcoming with a lot of information, and Zenny asked a question very close to the end. I mean, I was right like a few minutes from the end that got both of us. And yeah. Orson Scott Card. Yeah. I can listen to the book on a speaker when the kids are home, though. Gotcha. They're quiet enough. What was Beck saying? This makes me want to do a members-only streams that are like a book club. Yeah. I'd be there. I don't care what kind of members group. I don't care what members stream you put on. I'll try my best to be there. Oh, which reminds me, Brandon B. Wizzle is thinking about. Hopefully, you don't mind me saying this if you're still here, Brandon. But he wants to find a co-host to talk about some fishy stuff and maybe somebody who's interested in Pokemon and video games. I thought Gina might be good, but I don't know what her time. I know she works in the day and she's got a lot going on, but. If you guys got ideas for people that would be a good co-host for B Wizzle, he wants to do some live streams around there. So if you see him and you've got some ideas, let him know. Again, he did mention video games and Pokemon. So I think somebody from our community who likes those things would be a good co-host for him. I actually thought of you there, Tomatillo. I thought of you would be a good guest, a good co-host for him. But I didn't know if you were even interested in Pokemon at all. I don't know. Did I say hi to Tomatillo? Zen just loves seeing grown men cry. Yeah, she does. We actually have two areas of my town that actually ends. Oh, yeah. Shel Silverstein, where the sidewalk ends. Is that what we're talking about? Did I miss that? Diana Galbadan wrote Outlander. Fantasy, romance, time travel in Scotland. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Victor wants to know if we have I'm sorry, Victor, I missed your message. It jumped on me. Do we have apple orchards nearby? Yes. More so than any place else except for a county in Washington. We are the second largest apple growing county in the United States. So there are apple orchards everywhere. Literally all over the place. Not literally, figuratively, but figuratively. In fact, but closest to us is a vineyard. We have a winery just on the next road over. Let's go back to the maps. You can hear 11 barking again because she's being a little. Eh. And I don't mind showing this stuff. A lot of you guys have my address. I'm not too worried about, a lot of people are like, oh, never show where you live on the stream. I'm not that worried. I don't have much. You can come and try and take it from me, whatever. All right, so we're going to scroll in. So my house is right there, that blue, and this is the vineyard right here. So it's right on the next road over, Thorpe Vineyard. And so that's the closest thing is this little winery. I've talked about this quite often. I love the story here. There's Fumi. That's the person. She runs it. Fumi Thorpe. She came here in the early or the late 80s from Japan to go to school for meteorology, and then she fell in love with I forgot what his name was. Thorpe. It's not Jim Thorpe. But she fell in love, and they started a winery, and then he's gone. But so it's a one-woman show, and she creates the art. That's not what I wanted to see. She creates the art. Here, let's try and find a bottle. She does all this art. Oh, the Fialka. Fialka is my favorite. I'm not a big wine guy. I absolutely like this. A white wine with soft bouquet of abundant fresh grapes with a smooth, pleasing taste, full and round, great for sipping, accompanies poultry well. It's a little sweet, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite wine. And she's won some awards and stuff, but she did all the paintings and stuff that go on the bottles. She does all the art. She grows the grapes. She runs the store. I mean, she has some employees to do that, but she does everything there. She's the one that does the mixing. She puts on these starry night things that are a lot of fun. You go over and she's got telescopes set up. See here, Fumi has a BS in meteorology with a minor in astronomy, which are both things that I'm interested in. And this part's pretty cool. She's guide you through the celestial bodies and the Eastern and Western mythology about them. So very knowledgeable about that. It's a lot of fun. She also does bird watching in the area. They do hay rides. There's her vineyard. Our house is like, we can walk through the woods right here, and our house is you can't see it, but we're like right off the camera, right directly. We're almost lined up in a straight line from where her house is right here, straight across. So it's not a big winery by any means, but yeah, that's our local. So that's the closest thing. But there are within a quarter mile, well, half a mile of us. No, it's probably a mile. Within a mile of us, there's like 5 different apple orchards, and then they're all over the lakeshore. If you drive down the lake, there's a road that drives very close to the lake and go all the way into the Rochester. I sounded like Rick and Morty or something. There's all kinds of apple orchards all the way down, just everywhere. Okay, what else did I miss? Because it jumped on me. All right, I'm at the bottom. I'm sorry if I missed your question. Go ahead and just re-ask it. Oh, we've only got like 6 minutes left. There's Ryan. What's going on? It's good to see you. J-Rock. Hello. Okay, there we go. Steven said that would be a stream I have basically nothing to contribute to. Well, you'd still be there. Because I know you. That question made me tear up too. Next time I'm going to send you a video of it. And J-Rock says, hope all is well. Playing around in OBS, setting up some stuff for the future. Very cool. Love it. Zen loves to make men cry. Ask me how I know. You asked for it. Time to cook up some mee goreng. I don't know. So many times I have no idea what this stuff is. So it's awesome. I get to I get to learn something. I just do a quick search on it. Indonesian noodles. Ooh, it looks good. It looks like a fancy ramen. Sticky, savory, sweet sauce. Noodles are tossed with chicken, prawns, vegetables, and signature egg ribbons. Street food favorite. Wow, that looks good. ABS, I'm jealous. That looks delish. I need to eat something now. That looks delicious. Sweet soy sauce. Sweet soy sauce. It sounds like a, Sweet soy sauce, he exclaimed. Anything goes. What's happening? I've had people come to my house and my work from YouTube streaming. Yeah. I mean, I don't get any closer than this. And, people have sent me stuff. But, first of all, I'm not too controversial most of the time. I mean, there are people that are trying to find reasons to find me controversial because they're projecting onto me their own shortcomings and their own greed and avarice and attaching motivations to me that just don't exist. But those people are few and far between. So I'm just not a controversial person. I don't think anybody would waste any time, coming in. And I think most people would rather just come hang out with me than be upset with me. You'd think I'd be scared that Matt knows where I live. So many people, right? So many people. Tomatillo says there was a guy down here whose wife started making wine, ended up getting a divorce. He took over the winery, started calling it in spite of her. Good stuff and cheap. You should be more scared about glitter bombs if Annette knows where you live. She did send the one. Yeah. She did send the one when the shirt and the little charms and all that stuff. And I do hate glitter bombs. I do hate glitter. So does Geekities within driving. Oh, jumped again. Barbara Jackson. That's where I was. Barbara Jackson Gordon said our old house used to have old grapevine rootstock all over the yard. This part of Silicon Valley made wine before Prohibition. That's why they went to more dried apricots and other fruit. So I as well have a lot of grapevines. In fact, is there any in this now? You don't see any grapevine. It's all out of the way. The wind must have blown it down enough. Oh, on the very, very right of the screen, you see a grapevine sticking into the screen there. There is a grapevine growing up the side of our house. And again, people are like, you can't do that. It'll damage it. Yeah, but all of that siding is going away. So we're not too concerned, if it does damage to it. It's already pretty damaged. It's not going to hurt it any worse. But I had some other of that grapevine in my yard. And I took that out. I dug it up, took it out, and it's been in this tank. And I put in that tank, and so many people were like, you can't do that. They didn't say that. Nobody said you can't do that. A lot of people, not even everybody, but a lot of people said, don't do that. It's going to break down super quick. And it's been more than 2 years that it's been in there, and it hasn't broken down at all. It's solid. It's rock solid. So I don't know if there's different type of grapevines. I don't know if it's because it was really old, and I had just cut it and it was fresh that way or something. I don't know. I don't know why, but I have not had any problems with it breaking down at all. None. And a ton of people told me that was going to happen. So that's where we're at. But again, what's soon when it comes to breaking down wood? I mean, the cholla wood breaks down, right? What is soon? I'm sure other woods are going to last longer. There are harder woods. There's whatever woods that are just, maybe they've been treated a certain way by being in water long enough to become hardened, and whatever it is. I'm touching my face a lot again today. What's soon? How soon is it going to break down? I think if it's 2 years, there's no sign of it. It's more than 2 years. It's closing in on 3 years. I think it's June will be 3 years. I have to go back and look at the actual date the video was posted. What's too soon? 3 years and no sign of it breaking down. That's pretty damn good to me. I mean, if I figure if I can get 5 to 10 years out of a piece of wood, that's pretty damn good. So I don't know. But The reason I brought that up, Barbara, was that if you wanted, you could try the wood. I think it makes a really cool looking piece of driftwood. I like the look of it. I love the look of it. They had it worked out to where she got a certain percentage of the income, so he sold it off for super cheap, so she wouldn't only make anything. Divorce is so hard. People that once just couldn't be away from each other now just can't stand to see each other and do so many things to hurt each other. It's that, I've been through it. I learned my lesson. I did it right the second time, but it's so difficult. People change and do such negative, hurtful things. And I'm not saying that some people don't deserve it, but you know what I'm saying? I don't really like wine. I do like Prosecco, but maybe I'm just a giant tolerant and need bubbles. Gotcha. Bubbly wines are good. I've got to be in the mood for wine. For expensive bottles of wine at first, and he started selling them for like three to $5 each. These, that one, the Thorpe Vineyard, they're not super expensive. I think most of the bottles, she had the price on there. I think they were like 15 to $20, somewhere around there. I don't think that's too expensive. I'm not a wine guy. 14, 15, 17. Looks like the most expensive she has is 17 for $7.50. And the Red Duck that's pretty good. Again, the Fialca is my favorite. That's $15 for a bottle. So I used to like wine when I worked in the industry. Now just whiskey. It is 2:00. Victor, thanks for being here the whole time. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions that you ask. I really, really enjoy you asking some different things, right? A lot of times you ask some questions that nobody else is asking. I appreciate that. That's what I appreciate about you, Victor Coco. I think maybe he saw it as the quicker he bankrupt the company, the quicker he not have to live to deal with their crap anymore. Yeah. Thai noodles, they look so good. Let's not talk about scotch. I just want to get to the bottom of the chat. What does it say about me if I don't like the bubbles? I can drink sodas, but other carbonated drinks are just not for me. It says nothing. Nothing. Real men drink Seachem Prime. So that explains why Rico knows everything. He heard it through the grapevine. You fucking sorry. Tabatillo. Choya does break down. Yes. Some woods go really soft once they get soaked. Those are the ones that get eaten off or broken down faster. Depends on what's much on it. I thought vine root was sold in the hobby. Yeah. Grapevine does break down faster than, say, manzanita, but I've had manzanita submerged for over 5 years without much deterioration. So maybe faster doesn't mean fast, right? Yeah, and I guess we'll find out. If I'm still around in 5 to 10 years, we'll know. We'll know how long that grapevine lasts. You want cheese with that wine? Always, even though you spelled it wrong. I know what you're doing. Wi-Fi said, when I moved back from Tucson around 2001, we took North Route and drove through the petrified forest. Nice. Early 20s, but we stopped at the ranger station. I asked, where is the forest? Tucson, huh? Didn't live in Tucson, went down to Tucson. Send me down to Tucson. Yes, we'd go to Tucson quite often. I lived in most of the time East Valley around Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, Chandler, Queen Creek, mostly in Mesa. But Tempe for a long time too, right by ASU. That was some of the most fun time in my life. We lived right next to ASU, and man, the parties we had. Oh my God, we had some big bands play. Not big band, not like like some bands that had a large following play at our house too. Jodie Foster's Army played. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank now. SOD. It was a lot of punk bands. So many. We met a guy. That's a big long story. We're already at the end. Let's see. Is the points working? Oh, pellets. It's pellets, Victor. most disgusting look on his face when I was informed it was the rocks on the ground. Yeah, you were looking for Forrest. Okay. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys for streaming or for hanging out with me for 2 hours. We will see you guys. Today's Wednesday, so I'll see you tomorrow at noon to 2. And then, of course, I'll be with Ed. I think Ed is streaming tomorrow night because he's going to be going to the OCA, so I don't know when he's leaving. But I think we're going to see Ed tomorrow night. Him and Oinky are going to be at the OCA, so if anybody's going there, you'll get to see Ed. Thanks for being here, Bex. And I'm looking forward. I think you should do that members-only Book Nook thing. I think that would be fun. I would definitely be there. I mean, I don't know a lot about certain genres, but there's other genres I know a lot about. Okay. Now I'm clicking buttons. We'll see you guys. Hope you have a good day.